Hey folks, I was reading the news probably 3 days ago. This is, for those of you who are following American politics, this is actually old news, but it's taken me a little while to figure out what I wanted to say about it. I was reading a story about Mitch McConnell, the Kentucky senator in the U.S. I believe he is the minority leader. Anyway, he said something that it took the wind right out of me. I had an absolutely a negative visceral reaction to what he said. He said, if we win back the Senate in 2022 and Joe Biden has to fill a Supreme Court seat in 2024, we won't let him. Even saying it bothers me. See, a statement like that for me, where I'm coming from, as a Canadian, the statement isn't about American politics, it's about something grander. It's about something greater. It's about something more encompassing. Hearing people say things like that reminds me of those moments in our lives where we have to deal with people who at any moment will take their ball and go home. That if they don't get their way, they will destroy everything. If they don't get their way, nothing will happen. Everything will come to a complete standstill. All the work that we have to do will take 10 times as long, and it'll take 100 times more energy. When he said that, the first thought was, well, what would stop him from doing it in 2023 too? If they won the Senate in 2022 and he can do that in 2024, why wouldn't he do it in 2023? Now, I know somebody out there might say, well, he's not going to do that. But there's no reason why he couldn't if he chose to. In that statement, what he's saying is, it's our way or no way. We're going to do what we want, regardless of what anybody else wants. We're not going to move forward on your agenda because we don't like your agenda, and we're just going to wait you out. We're going to drag our feet on everything. We're going to delay everything. Nothing is going to get done. Nothing of what you want is going to get done. What I hear in a statement like that is just an extreme arrogance. We know best. We don't need to hear from you. We know best. We don't need input from you. We know best. We don't need to follow you. And I hear in that statement a complete minimization of the value of the other side. If it's not something that we're proposing, we're not going to do it, no matter how good it may be. Now, again, you might say, he's not going to do that. He would never do that. No, but there's nothing stopping them. And the chief reason there's nothing stopping people like this is because most of us want to work together. We want cooperation. We want everyone on the same page, moving in the same direction. We're willing to bend and flex in order to get people on board. When I read the Gospels, when I read about Jesus' ministry, he went out and he started talking. He went out and he started healing. He went out and he started doing his Messiah thing. Some people followed him. Some people chose to be an obstacle to him. And he knew who those people were. He knew that the Pharisees and the Sadducees, he knew the scribes and the priests, he knew that members of the Sanhedrin were in the crowds he was speaking to. He knew they were conspiring. He knew that they were gossiping about him, that they were actively sabotaging his ministry. He knew that they stood against him, and that when push came to shove, they were going to do something to keep him from doing what he felt like he was supposed to do. But he left the door open for them. They could join at any point. They could get on board at any point. They were welcomed into his movement. They were welcomed to take on this new way at any point, but he did not go to them first. He did not go to them and ask them to jump on. He did not go to them and say, we can do this together. He did not go to them and say, hey, listen, I've got these really radical ideas about God. I have this really radical theology that I want to share with you. I have an entirely different way of seeing how we are to live our lives of faith. And I want to share that with the world, but I need all of us to be in agreement about this. I need all of you to agree with what I have to say. It didn't matter to him that the other side was in agreement. It didn't matter to him that the conservative powers of his day, the established powers of his day, were in agreement with him. He left the door open, but he moved forward. He left the door open for them to join, but he went ahead with his mission. He left open opportunities for them to talk to him, for them to offer input, for them to give him feedback. And he did listen. But he kept going. There's all kinds of people out there in the world who they would rather be an anchor than a sail. They would rather keep us from moving forward. There's all kinds of people out there that we worry will stop liking us, will leave us, will quit, will walk away from us, will walk away from our purpose. So we will bend and we will flex and we will try our best to be accommodating. And we'll be slowed down. Sometimes we'll come to a dead stop. Sometimes we'll give up because of those people. But that's not the example we receive from Jesus' ministry. Jesus knew how important his mission was. And he went ahead. He moved forward. When our mission is that important, when our purpose has that much meaning to it, can make that big of a difference, when we have an agenda that can transform lives, transform communities, societies, the hearts of the people that live there. It's okay that not everybody's on board. It's okay that not everybody wants to be our partner. It's okay that not everybody wants to accept our invitation. We need to keep our doors open for them. But it's okay if they don't come. We need to move forward. We need to move on. May the Lord bless you. May the Lord keep you. May the Lord's face be made to shine upon you and be gracious to you. May the Lord's countenance be lifted up to you. May you always know the peace of being in the Lord's presence. And I pray that with discerning hearts, we will recognize valuable input, valuable critique, valuable feedback for what it is. We will allow it to change us, to change our directions, to change our ways. But we will also recognize the obstacles, the saboteurs, the anchors that are keeping us from going anywhere. Amen.